Alright YouTube, this video will be a simple one, as I haven't updated my series in a while, but it will involve various things that I've either already fixed or will fix on camera, or will be asking advice on fixing. It may end up being quite long, but I will include a timestamp so you can skip to the parts of the video you're most interested in. So yeah, let's get into this quick. So to start, we'll be fixing these things. They are very common for fixing, I'm sure. Obviously I've already fixed this one. This one already comes off, but I've had to glue this one because the plastic bit has broken off. I'm just gonna pull this one to find out, hopefully without breaking this one. Come on. No, it's not coming off easy, or is it? No, it's not coming off easy, but basically the plastic bits inside it, and yeah, they snap off, so I've had to glue this one on. This is one that already came with it, but I have lost some, or I say I have. When I bought the car, they were already lost or broken. So this one is another one that came with it. As you can see, one of the arms are broken, so again, I have to replace them anyway. So I did get a pack. However, these are ever so slightly different, but I will link where I got them because they're actually really hard to find, to be honest. So I'll grab one and compare them. So yeah, this is the new one. And this is the old one. Let's try to straighten it up a bit. So yeah, this is the new one, is slightly bigger, ever so slightly, but the squares are see if I can zoom in slightly. There we go. So you can see these squares slightly bigger, even on the inside. But they do, on the actual inside part that matters, where the teeth are, they look very identical, and the backs are also very, very identical. They're almost exactly the same. So yeah, not bad. We've got to see if this one fits. I hope it does. Otherwise, this one's already fixed because I've glued it. So yeah, let's go out and check. Okay, here we are outside. This is the boot, obviously. I'm going to be doing a video on a full install of this. Currently, it's not properly wired in, but we'll work a bit on. Yeah, I'll update you on that. So here's the old one, here's the new one. As you can see, new one is slightly bigger. So it's not too there, but obviously I'm going to put this one in, but let's see if the new one fits. Oh yeah, double snap. Okay, yeah, that fits nicely. Does it come out easily? No. Ah, perfect. So we know that these fit quite well then. Let's try to get it out without breaking it, not that it matters, we've got a pack now. Okay. Perfect, so these were a good purchase then. So this should just slot in now, because it's glued in. I used epoxy glue, by the way. So that's not coming off at all. I'm pulling at it quite hard as I was on this one. So. Double snap, or at least that sounded like a snap. It's a little bit like a crack as well. And this one isn't snapping in at all. Is that the glue side? Okay, hold on. Okay, we got there in the end. It's pretty tight now. It's not perfect. So yeah, it snaps still a bit, so you have to give it some really rough pushes, but it's enough to keep it in place. And to put this in a power bank just in case you need it for the car. Yeah, so that's good. Nice and stable now. Yeah, perfect. So this is a part where I'd like to ask advice on, and that is the sun visor. You can just about see it. Let's go back a bit more. There we go. So it comes down, and I've got, check it out. Currently I've got a blue tack on there, very sticky. Try to get as much of that back in there as I can. So yeah, as you can see, this thing flaps around, and it obviously gets in the way when, yeah. So I have to push it with blue tack. So if anyone's got any advice on fixing that, that would be great, without having to replace the whole thing. But I have a feeling I might have to. I don't know if there's like a DIY thing I can do, or I can just somehow add like a tension strip here or something. I don't know, but currently it's like, yeah, held on with blue tack, which is not ideal. Quite messy. But yeah, so you can see on this one, opens fine. And it's got tension, so it stays up. Doesn't get in the way when you yeah, there we go. So a fix for that would be perfect. Thank you. Okay, so next is subwoofer advice. Yeah, I've got the panels in there. Panel is being glued to the other one, so that's going to be sticking out, unfortunately. Sorry about that. So I've got two Sundown SA12s, Sundown Salt 2 amplifier. It fits in the boot really nicely, and this is the reason why I got such a big boot, is because it's just such a huge subwoofer. It goes right to the back, as you can see. So yeah, it looks nice, sounds good. I'll be doing a proper video on that soon, but currently it's only wired in. Let's get this all taken out. Through a battery on its own. Just its own battery. Obviously it's a luxury battery. It's doesn't say on it, I don't think, what wattage it's for, but it's not for the amount of watts this is, so it doesn't last as long as the 52 minutes it says on it that it does. Yes, as you can see. Yeah, I plug it out to keep it, try to save as much power as I can. I charge it every week or so. It does have a voltage meter in the front. Let's lock this back up. So yeah, voltage meter, that helps me figure out if it's too low when it needs charging and stuff, also clipping, which is good. But yeah, the main problem I have with wiring it properly is there's hardly any room in the boot, in the not boot, the front, whatever it's called. Yeah, not much to work with, unfortunately. Thinking of trying to get it in there somewhere. But yeah, obviously any advice where to drill through the firewall and stuff would be amazing. Other than that, works great with the stock radio I've got. And yeah, it works great on the battery as well. It's just, I'd obviously prefer it wide into the car. I'm working on that. It sounds good, as I say. So yeah, subwoofer advice, and that's the update on that. Thank you again. Okay, I know I showed these in a previous video, but I'll quickly show them again now. I changed these from warm tungstens to now cold white LEDs. I did the same with the boot. I'll quickly show that now. Yep, as you can see, tungsten, white LED. They were quite easy to replace. I don't think I really need to do a video on it, to be honest. I shouldn't really be using my finger on it. I don't think I'm going to get out with anything. But obviously put like something longish in there, take out the bulb, put the new bulb in. Very simple job. Okay, it's the next morning, so I thought I'd very quickly show this being put in, as it's now glued on nice and tight. So let's quickly do that now. One snap, and two snap. Perfect. That is not coming off easy at all. So now I can put these in. Hooray! Okay, and now we're going to replace the rear wiper arm. First off, you start by pulling up the end cap, and then you're going to want to use a spanner or a ratchet of sorts to unscrew the bolt. Thankfully, mine wasn't rusted, but if yours is, you may need some lubricant. I used WD-40 in this case because I had a feeling this wiper arm would be stuck on very tightly even without the bolt. And indeed it was. As you can see, I was pulling a lot here without trying to harm the motor. So this is where a tool like this comes in handy. It's called a bearing puller. You can also get an even more specific tool like a wiper arm remover, which works pretty much exactly the same as this tool. The only reason I went for a bearing puller is because, for one, I already had one, and two, it's a lot more universal than having a tool specifically for removing wiper arms. After a while I managed to get it off. Unfortunately you can't see it very well as my arm was blocking the view most of the time. Now it's just a matter of making sure the screw is clean, which in my case it was. But if you have any corrosion, it's very likely you'll need to use a wire brush and perhaps some soapy water. But now it's just a case of getting the new arm on. It's very important to hold on to the arm whilst you're tightening up, as you want to make sure the arm doesn't move from the position it's supposed to be stationary in. And yeah, you want to be careful with the motor and such. Clip the back cover back down and then install the wiper. Quick test and works great. I did eventually fix the top part of the wiper not touching the glass, and this was just a case of adjusting the arm a little and experimenting with the tightness of the bolts and flexing the wiper itself a little, I guess. Now, I wanted to show you how I adjusted the front wiper washer nozzles. As you can see here, my jets shoot quite high onto the roof. I'm not actually 100% sure if these nozzles are adjustable, but I got a pin and tried anyway, pushing down from where I thought was the best place and tried from the hole of the nozzle itself. And then of course did the same for the other side. It could just be a coincidence, or perhaps the pin cleared some blockage or something, but they definitely look a little better in person. I guess you be the judge. Okay, and it's not very often I do this kind of view, but the reason I'm doing this is because now I'm going to change the number plate. Of course I'm probably going to have to blur that with the new one here, which I'll be blowing, so not really much point in showing it. Both ends are sticky. You can't see any screws on them on this end either. Yeah, so first got to get them off. I think it's just stickies, so I might get some alcohol on them. I've got some isopropyl alcohol down here, so yeah, let's start getting them off. Okay, unfortunately due to the wind you couldn't really hear me talking in this part, so I'll just quickly skip through all of it, make it go as quickly as I can whilst making it enjoyable. So basically I pull off the old one. Yeah, I bend it quite a bit unfortunately, but I'm not actually sure if you can still use the old plates when you either sell the car or move the new plate to another car. Either way, it's I take it off, get some isopropyl alcohol to get off the old sticky stuff, and then I put the new sticky pads on the actual plate itself, and then push it onto the car. And of course I did the same for the front, which is also sticky as I already mentioned. This one was actually a lot easier, so yeah, here you go. Okay, so for the last part of this video, I'm going to be looking at doing up the scuffs. See this one right there as well. You've got one there. There's a, you can just about see that, like some sort of scuff of sorts. So this one I can probably buff out with here it is, teacup. It's like just scratch remover, things like that. I could probably use a different one, but that should do. On the other side I've got one as well. Where is it? Here. It looks quite okay. It's not terrible compared to my finger. I've also got some touch-up paint. It's got a very sharp tip here on the side of the brush. So I'll probably start with this one. Also there's a bit there as well. So yeah, let's give it a go. And once again, unfortunately, you can't really hear my voice in this, so I was struggling quite a bit to get the paint out of the little tip, so I did end up using a brush. But as you can see here, I was squeezing into the holes as much as I could. I couldn't really get it flat enough, and no matter how much I kept trying, like wiping it off and putting more on, I ended up just using, like I said, using the brush to at least get it on. Once it's dry, I'll try filing it down and go from there, see what I can do. take time to buff this up now. Not perfect, but I think it did okay. Just about see it there. Maybe I'll try some scratch remover afterwards. But other than that, yeah. Unless the next clip you see is going to be me using the scratch remover. Thank you for watching, please subscribe and all that, and see you later.